Long Yi frowned as he looked at the girl whose Duki was getting weaker and weaker. He was somewhat unable to bear leaving this girl in such a situation. However, if he joined the fray consisting of so many dire wolves, then he would be unable to do anything other than throw his life away in vain. Thinking thus far, Long Yi lightly sighed and turned away, as he did not wish to witness the death of such a beautiful girl. Coincidentally, two of the small silver dire wolf cubs who were playing with each other by imitating the attacking posture of the dire wolf king started running towards the location of the hiding Long Yi. Seeing its precious two cubs who were slowly running further and further away from itself, the dire wolf king roared twice, probably trying to call them back to its side. However, these two little mischievous silver dire wolf cubs only looked back for a moment, before completely ignoring the wolf king. As Long Yi caught sight of the two little wolves slowly approaching him, he cancelled his plans on leaving as a bold idea struck him. He paused and thought to himself, if I caught these two little wolves and threatened the wolf king, would I be able to save the little beauty from the Phoenix clan? As Long Yi calculated the distance, he was 70% sure that he would be able to catch these two little dire wolves. Catching the sight of the young girl fighting the group of dire wolves being unable to hold on anymore and was on the verge of being completely unable to resist their assault, Long Yi no longer hesitated. Quickly casting two gale magic spells on himself in succession and using Great Cosmos Shift at full power, Long Yi left behind several after images as he charged towards the two little dire wolf cubs. Noticing the danger towards its children, the Wolf King roared furiously and immediately sent out several wind blades towards Long Yi, who was currently making a move on the two little silver dire wolves. But how could Long Yi be unprepared for the retaliation from the dire Wolf King? The rank 5 earth spell Earthen Wall Magic was instantly cast by Long Yi to defend himself from the wild blades. Thick walls of earth rapidly rose from the ground and blocked the wind blade attack from the Wolf King. However, Long Yi didn't trademark T realize that he had underestimated the might of the Wolf King. The powerful wind blades cast by the Wolf King easily broke through the rank 5 Earthen Wall Magic and continued cutting towards Long Yi without even losing much of the speed and power it originally possessed. CreativeNovels.com approved only. Placed in a perilous situation, Long Yi was desperate as he had to choose between grabbing the two little wolves or avoiding the wind blades. He had no choice but to avoid the wind blades and had to give up on the two little wolves temporarily in order to get out of the dangerous situation he was in. By this time, the two little dire wolves were quickly dashing towards their mother, the silver dire wolf king. In an attempt to stall more time for its children, the dire wolf king sent out even more powerful wind blades towards Long Yi. Long Yi felt a burst of anxiety as the two little dire wolves were about to escape from his reach, as this would completely ruin his plans on threatening the dire wolf king to save the young girl. He immediately used the spiritual attack which he was extremely proficient with in his past life. The spiritual power instantly chased down and bound the two little dire wolves, causing them to be unable to move even a single step. Sensing the wind blades slicing towards him, Long Yi knew he could not delay any longer. Gritting his teeth, he leaped towards the two little dire wolves who were already bound by him and caught them. As he dodged the wind blades flying towards him with all his might, one of the wind blades still landed on him as an ugly tear appeared on his back. As blood started flowing from the deep wound caused by the wind blade, Long Yi lightly snorted while he clutched the neck of the two little dire wolves. Turning to the group of dire wolves, the sight of Long Yi trademark's lips slightly tilted upwards as he revealed an evil smirk which still could not hide the excitement he felt after accomplishing his goal. As the two little wolves dangled in the air, with their pitiful tiny legs kicking powerlessly in the air, and their throat making purring noises as if telling Long Yi to show them mercy, Long Yi instead felt very comfortable. Long Yi heaved a sigh of relief, as, despite the danger to his life, he successfully caught these two little dire wolf cubs. Seeing the two little dire wolves caught by this human, the group of dire wolves stopped their attack on the young girl as an ominous glint flashed across their eyes. Already at her limit, the young girl fainted immediately as the dire wolves stopped their attack. However, before she lost her consciousness, she faintly saw a tall and straight figure at the corner of her eye. Seeing as the group of dire wolves were starting to surround him, Long Yi increased the pressure he put on the neck of the two little dire wolves. Sounds of whining and whimpering immediately came from the two little dire wolves as they struggled harder due to the pain. A euro eaou, a euro, the silver wolf king howled. Immediately, the group of more than 2,000 dire wolves backed away and dispersed. Seeing that the group of dire wolves retreated according to his command and the human would not make any rash movements, the silver wolf king then came forward. Its anxious eyes were filled with love as he stared at the two little dire wolves. Woo of you, this silver wolf king waved its tail and begged Long Yi. A euro, you want me to free them? A euro. Long Yi laughed while carrying these two little silver wolves. His smile looked somewhat sinister as blood was still dripping all around him from the wound given to him by the Silver Wolf King. The Silver Wolf King seemed to understand Long Yi, so it nodded its head and turned back to howl twice. Following his command, two dire wolves turned around and entered the thick forest. Long Yi was stunned and thought whether this Silver Wolf King was calling for reinforcement or not. A euro, you move a bit farther, and I will naturally let them free. A euro. Long Yi cried out loudly to the Silver Wolf King. However, the Wolf King looked at him with a look full of confusion, unable to understand what Long Yi was trying to say. Long Yi just laughed at himself, as he had mistakenly believed that this Silver Wolf King was really able to understand him. Long Yi just carried the two little dire wolves and walked towards that young girl who was fainted. CreativeNovels.com approved only. The complexion of this young girl was rather pale, and she was breathing agitatedly. It may be assumed that she had overdrawn her physical power in addition to losing an excessive amount of blood. Her skin-tight armor was also tattered all over, exposing her pure snow-white skin. Especially from the torn skin-tight armor of her chest location, he could see most parts of her perfectly round, soft and delicate, which was completely exposed before his eyes. Among them, her left round breast had a long wound, from which blood was flowing non-stop. Long Yi was endlessly distressed after seeing this and cursed these dire wolves inside his heart for not understanding how to show pity and treat a woman tenderly. The unicorn with its body riddled with scars was using its head to push the waist of that young girl, probably trying to wake its master up. When Long Yi was sizing up this young girl, the two dire wolves who had entered the forest on the command of Silver Wolf King came back, while holding something in their mouth. Under the order of the Silver Wolf King, they placed the item closer to Long Yi so he could see what the item was. Long Yi was stunned. The Silver Wolf King has actually considered him to be a kidnapper and was willing to use its treasures to exchange the freedom of the two little dire wolves. Long Yi revealed a look of astonishment as he saw the item the Wolf King was about to give him in exchange for the two little dire wolves. The ransom was a pitch-black magic wand and a bundle of wrapped in cloth. He didn't trademark T know from whose dead body it had gotten these items. However, Long Yi was greatly surprised because that pitch-black magic wand was emitting dark element magic aura. Dark element magic was the type of magic that the evil forces used, and it was absolutely forbidden in the Blue Waves continent. As such, if anyone was discovered to be cultivating dark element magic, they would be chased down by all the powers. If anyone were to cultivate dark element magic, they would definitely do it stealthily. Long Yi was extremely clear about the consequence of cultivating dark element magic. Therefore he only had the guts to test out his dark magic spell in the middle of the dark and uninhabited forest to prevent others from seeing it. Many thoughts flashed in the mind of Long Yi, but the most urgent thing was to take this girl out of this forest, so he immediately placed the magic wand and the bundle wrapped in cloth inside his magic ring. Glancing at the unicorn beside him, he determined that the horse was not in a condition it was unable to run anymore. So Long Yi tossed the young girl to the back of the horse and got on after her as he quickly rode the horse out of the forest. This unicorn seemed to have a bit of intelligence. Usually, it was very proud and wouldn't trademark T let anyone besides this young girl to ride on its back. But currently, it seemed to know the situation they were all in. Being extremely obedient, it listened to every command Long Yi gave it. Silver Wolf King was standing alone some distance away from Long Yi, as it didn't trademark T dare to come close to Long Yi. as it feared Long Yi may kill the two little dire wolves. Carrying two peoples, the unicorn ran wildly for more than an hour and finally left this forest. Silver Wolf King was nervously looking at Long Yi from the edge of the forest, hoping that Long Yi would let its children go. Report this ad. Long Yi was rather moved, as even magical beast like this was thinking of its child just like humans. Long Yi suddenly remembered the face of the parents of this body just before he parted with them. There was so much loving care for him, such that he became rather jealous of the original owner of this body. But this kid really did Euro trademark T appreciate the happy life given to him, and he even created trouble everywhere. Long Yi patted the head of these two little dire wolves, as he let them go.